What is going on? Happy Sunday, y'all. Oop, beep, 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 beep. Happy Sunday, y'all. We doing the BJJ report and just getting out, man. Just enjoying getting out, getting ready. We had some really great guests over the weekend. That was awesome. I want to say thanks to Amanda, Josh, David coming over, hanging out, having a good time. And you know, one of the things I want to give a shout out to is Amanda's son, 15 years old, playing Xbox and hanging out with the boys, and he was super good with the kids. You know, giving them positive encouragement, high-fiving them, and he wasn't like, go away. You know, because look, man, we got, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old and a 15-year-old up there playing the Xbox, and everybody having a good time. And I can certainly remember, if it would have been, years ago, me being a kid, that usually the older kids are like, go away. And he totally wasn't like that, and so, made sure to let Amanda know that, she had a great kid, because, just because you got a great kid doesn't mean that you always hear people saying it. So I think it feels nice to have somebody letting you know, and she did the same for us, which was really awesome. Letting us know what great kids we had, and that's not the only reason why it was a good time. We just enjoyed the company, enjoyed having good people over, and so that's, I wanted to give a shout out to that, because look, the thing that I took away from that was like, I think kids are better now, right? Maybe that's my hope, right? If we see good kids, I mean, that's all we can hope for. No, it's not that kids have ever been quote unquote bad. I just think that we're raising them differently now, and I think that we have the opportunity to raise them differently now. And it's just like the Maya Angelou quote, which is, you do better until you do your best until you know better. And that's what I think that most parents are doing these days, and we have a lot of really actually good social media. I was hanging out this morning at BJJ, and one of the guys was talking about it. He goes, I don't want to see everybody complaining. I don't want to see everybody talking about elections, and guess what? To me, that's where I see a lot of good things. I see a lot of positive things. And this is where I say you got to cultivate your feed. Cultivate where you're at. People talk about cultivating a garden or curating art. What about your life? Curate and cultivate your own life. What are the good things that you want to nurture in your life? For us, it's our children, our relationship, the things that are going on in life that are pretty awesome. I thought I'd share this too. Was that a couple months ago? You never know what's going to happen. But a couple months ago, I went to a Jack Canfield event. Was really inspired. Had a good time. Saw that they had, they had all this awesome training. They had, I don't know, whatever one. The one when Scottsdale trained a trainer. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking, I see a place for the coaches, and I said, well, where do they get their coaches from, right? Because that's what I do. I do coaching, and I'm just curious, where does he get his coaches from, and how can I initiate that? And so I asked his VP. I said, hey, where do you guys get your coaches from? We had the opportunity to speak and just have a conversation. She didn't know and directed me further on down the line. And as it got further on down the line, I ended up having a conversation. And while I was basically looking to just figure out how to get in or were trained as one of their coaches, they understood that I just wanted to be a coach with them, and they went through my content and they saw what I've got to deliver. We had some conversations with the management of the coaching. And he goes, listen, as far as it is right now, we don't have the need. We're not at full capacity yet, but as soon as we're at full capacity, you're in. And kind of blown away, honored, and excited. And this is where, I think when you're in your own circle of friends and your own circle of people, oftentimes you might not recognize just how good you can be, or how you are, or how you're presenting yourself. Because listen, not for nothing, presenting yourself well enough where they can go through. And these guys aren't slouches. This isn't their first rodeo. This is something that they do for a living, going through and seeing it and letting you know that, you know what, you bring enough value that you could be a coach for us. So, look, you just never know where it's going to lead if you start questioning, and looking for places to be around the, what do they say? They say, if you want to do something, you go where people are doing it. And that's why I actually went to the Jack Canfield event. Says, you know what, I just want to see and be around somebody that's doing what I want to be doing. And how does he do it? How does he present? What are the people like in that room? What's that room going to look like? How's it going to feel if I'm doing it, when I'm doing it? And getting yourself into that scenario and having conversations with people that are doing it. And here it is, I'm doing it. And that, to me, is super exciting, and I think also share worthy. But it goes to, again, cultivate your own feed, cultivate your life, cultivate all of it, curate all of it. Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Put yourself there so that other people can see you there. Because if you don't put yourself there, nobody else is going to put you there. Nobody's going to drag you along. People don't like dragging extra weight and carrying you along. You got to put yourself there. You got to believe that you can be there and show up there. Again, if you were a plant, and how would you nurture yourself, right? What would you do to make sure that you flourish? What would you make sure that I was making a joke, not necessarily a joke. I was doing another coaching course this week, and we had to do a mission statement. And I'm like, mission statement, okay. And I'm writing a bunch of words in a jumble, and for lack of better terminology, I would have to say that I'm a late bloomer when it kind of comes to this stuff. And I finally understand it and got there to a place where I'm happy and comfortable with who I am and what it is that I do. So I made that my mission statement. My mission statement was to help late bloomers bloom or whatever. I forget, but it was basically to assist late bloomers see the greatness within themselves through conversation. And that's the truth, because that's where I am. Kind of so it felt kind of cool to land on it, to get there. But here's the deal: like anybody can get there. You just got to put the work in. You got to want to be there. You want to bloom. You got to do it. I hate to keep saying bloom, but what do you want to do? And I think that too long, most people have been squashed down or been told, like, hey, don't make so much noise, don't be seen. I've literally had people tell me that part of their career plan is to fly under the radar. What does that even mean? I've never, I've never seen a bird fly around and be like, I gotta fly under the radar. You either fly or you don't, right? You don't fly under the radar. It doesn't make much sense to me. So, look, guys, I know it's a lot. The biggest part here, though, is like, look, I appreciate the friends that we've got around us. I appreciate the people that we have around us. I appreciate, like I said, their kids, being positive role models and influences on our children, even if it was only for a weekend. That's going to be everlasting. And I feel like we're in a better place than we've ever been. And I feel like a big part of that is because we've cultivated. We've made that part of what it is that we do. We've made that a part of who we are and who we want to be, and put ourselves in the places that we want to be. And you can do that. Anybody can do that. I know that, if we've done it, you can certainly do it. And the best part about it is like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Once you understand, those are kind of the principal situations. And once you take that first action to put yourself to where you want to be, like, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? I think figuring that out is the biggest part. And then as soon as you make the decision that that's where you want to be, you take that step. Step one, write it down. Write down, where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to see? What would it look like when you get there? what's your life going to look like when you are who you want to be, when you're doing what you want to be doing. That's the first step. Write it down, and after you write it down, take the next step. Just like when you take literal steps, you're always going to be putting, one foot's always going to be on the ground, right? And then you're like out of balance if you don't put the other one down. So eventually you must take the next step. All right. So hey man, what's up? We were talking good things about Dave, and enjoyed your company. So again, thanks for being here and hanging out. And we missed you guys already, and we appreciated having you here. So that's it, guys. That's it for me. BJJ report. Always just enjoy leaving there and getting that time too, being around others that are challenging you to be your best, that are and I talked about this before last week, coming home from Tony Robbins. Competition isn't to take something that isn't yours from somebody else. It's two people that are pushing each other to be their best in like a game or in competition. You're just basically trying your best. You're doing your best, and people are always going to challenge you and get you there, and that's what competition should be about, and to me is about. That's it. Have a good one, guys.